having a prospect list may be the make or break between your business becoming successful this year or 5 years from now. The moment you realize the power of a good prospect list, you will realize that you can build your business to whatever degree you want to fairly quickly. When I started my coaching business, I started prospecting at events. That's how I really got started. I would go to business events and I would meet people who were in a particular field, and they tended to be people who have a business that is related to education and was related to online education. And I would find such people, and then I would work with them or discuss with them as what their business was doing, how they were doing. Once I realized that their business was between 1 and 3 million, I would further my interaction. I would exchange phone numbers. I would exchange email addresses. I would send them some stuff that I may have tested on my other clients, or I would start coaching them right there if they were open to it, because what I was really doing was building a prospect list. And because I had a prospect list, and I only had a prospect list for maybe 100, 150 businesses, but because I had that prospect list, I was doing 6 figures in the first 2 years of my business. And more importantly, I was already starting to have a wait list. The reason why I was having a wait list is because every single time I would have an interaction that was this powerful for a client, they would go, well, that sounds interesting. Let's do a follow-up. I would do the follow-up with them and keep them interested in what I'm saying, how I'm helping, maybe even help them make some money even before they say yes to working with me, or I even propose anything to them, which got them really excited and always wanting to work with me. Which is why, as a coach, I was in a great place because I could always have more clients than I could handle. And that let me create such a phenomenal, successful, and profitable coaching business because I was maintaining a really healthy prospect list. See, prospecting is not just a thing to do for sales of the business. Prospecting is the idea that you're communicating your vision, your outcome, your potential results to your client so they can be excited about what's possible for them. Prospecting is not just a number on the list. Prospecting is a way for you to communicate what you're bringing to the world and get the person across the room excited about it. That's what prospecting is. Prospecting is you approaching individuals that may not become clients right now, but have a potential to be your clients in the near or far future. So very often, we have found that if you prospect well today, your business has longevity because you have something that we call a prospect pipeline. A prospect pipeline is potential names, phone numbers, email addresses, contact information of individuals that one day may become a potential client. They don't have to become a client today, they can become a client later. Everybody is a good prospect. Everybody is a potential client. So when you're interacting with an individual, you want to come from the energy that you want them to experience. So one day, when they need your services, they are actually excited about talking to you. Because if that time you approach them when they need your services and you're perfectly timed somehow, what will happen is because they have a good energy recall off you and because you always exude the same energy, there is a big potential that this person will say yes to working with you. Now, I do want you to understand one very important thing because this is what gets us really, really bad. It wasn't that all 150 of those clients were trying to jump at me and say, I want to work with you, right? But you don't need 150 clients when you are in the coaching business. You need maybe 10. Especially as a business coach, I was needing 5 at the time because that was my goal. So I needed 5 clients out of 150 prospects that I was talking to. That's like 5% of that entire database. 5% of all people, all I cared to actually engage in working with me out of the entire database of prospects that I had. And this was one-on-one interaction. This wasn't me sending a bulk email to 150 people. This was me talking to 150 people. 5% of them would ever convert, or would I ever want to convert into my client. Now, I want to give this reference to you because a lot of times we think prospecting is about getting a client, right? So you go, oh, I talked to 3 people and nobody said yes. Well, you didn't prospect enough. 1 of 3 is a really high conversion rate. You're not even looking for that. You're looking for maybe 1 of 10. 1 of 20 maybe. And that may be a perfectly okay prospecting to conversion list because when you are starting, you would be prospecting not in the highest quality. And even if you are prospecting in the highest quality, there are so many factors before a client says yes to a coaching contract. It's not about you. It's about them. A lot of times a client may say no because they already have a coach. They may say no because financially they may have made a big investment right now and they don't want to make another investment right now. They may say no because they are going on a big holiday and they won't be able to utilize your coaching services until 3 months later. There are many reasons a client may say no right now. Don't attach to that no. Understand how prospecting list works. Prospecting is not about your emotional state. Prospecting is about numbers. What are the numbers that you need to create, and what are the numbers that you're tracking that will tell you if you have prospected enough or you haven't prospected enough? And know that right now, depending on the stage you are at, but I'm assuming most of you are either hitting your six figures or about to hit six figures or want to hit six figures. That tends to be majority of our community. You want to think about every conversation as a prospect list conversation. The more prospects you have, the bigger your list of prospects that you have, the bigger your business will become, the faster it will grow. And so you want to ask certain questions to yourself. You want to ask, hey, how many people am I talking to every day? What is too many and too little? How many people I want to prospect every day? And no answer is right or wrong. It just defines the pace of building of your business, right? You prospect more, your business gets built faster. You prospect slower, your business gets built slower. But you want to at least try to do 5 to 7 people a day. That's how on average, it should come out to. So it might be that you go to an event and prospect 50 people there, and that's how you do the quota of the entire week. That's okay by me. But you want to at least try and prospect 4 or 5 people every single day. That's what I would suggest should be a minimum number. But you want to ask yourself, okay, maybe I don't have that capacity because let's say you have a full-time job or you have a part-time job. So you can't prospect 50 people in a week. So that's okay. But how many can you? So we can actually know that there's a number that you're chasing. There's a number that you associate with. That's good prospecting, right? Then I want you to really ask, what was the intent of my conversation with people? How am I opening a dialogue? What am I saying? How am I directing the conversation to be related to what I do as a coach? See, a lot of the times I've seen coaches, because they don't think about these things, they approach every conversation as just a conversation. And it is, yes, just a conversation, but if you don't have an intent, you will never direct the conversation where you are able to express that you are a business coach, that you are a life coach, that you are a health coach, or even better, that you are able to help people with certain types of problems. If you don't have that intent, you're not going to direct that conversation. If you don't direct that conversation, at the end of the conversation, the person that you interacted with will just know you as a cool person. They don't know that you can help them. They have no recall of why they should remember you. But if you make this conversation a little bit more intentional, there's a much significantly bigger possibility that this person one day can become your client.